We are going to be looking into some messages from your ancestors. They want you to hear at this time. Things they want you to know at this time. Things like that. So, if you guys wanted to be able to make a purchase or a donation, you can find my Cash App and PayPal in the description box below or my Amazon wish list. If you want to make a purchase, go ahead and send your payment and then throw your question below. So, thank you guys so much for being here and for whatever ways you support this channel, whether it be through those methods or through liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps on the pick a cards. Helps me out so much, you guys. Thank you for that. So, let's see. You may be a bit confused about the path forward at this time. There may be a bit of distorted vision going on when it comes to the path forward. Good morning, good night. That's reminding me of the Truman Show. Sometimes I remind me of that. Sinking ship. And I will go down with this ship, and I won't put my hands up and surrender. There will be no white flag above my door. I'm in love and always will be. I sure you will. All that was there will be there still. Shocking events, lit up exposure. There's definitely something that's going to be coming out that is going to be confirming the love that you have in your heart as well. Leo, Taurus. You could be dealing with somebody looking you up online as well. Or you might be looking somebody up online. The person that passed away may be a Leo or Taurus, or you could be. Or your love interest could be. So we have peace. Peace in your heart. Something's going to create a lot of peace in your world. I feel like something's going to be being exposed in the near future that is going to create a lot of peace in your world. Where once there was a lot of stress, negativity, you might have been feeling very drained in certain connections as well. Somebody may have been trying to drain the life out of you or a partner in some way, or cause confusion and chaos in connections you had. Somebody may have been trying to cause a lot of indecision in you. Which way now? You may be torn between two situations or two people. You may be really looking for the answers. And I feel like in the near future, there's going to be a lot of answers that are provided to you. You may have even been praying for answers, praying for things to come out, praying for things to be exposed so that you can understand what has really been going on. There could have been a lot of things going on that you were unsure of, that you didn't really understand or you really didn't know how to handle. And I feel like there's going to be some things in the near future getting ready to come out that are going to highlight some things and let you know what's been going on in certain situations so you can make the best decision for yourself in all this chaos. Everything just like fell on top of each other. So the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Cups. Some of you may want to check out my reading from yesterday with the jealousy as well, because there's a few pictures that came out that are the same, and it's reminding me of the heart that's there as well. So, your ancestors are wanting to let you know, as you love yourself more fully, as you give to yourself more fully, as you realize that you don't need anything from anyone outside of yourself emotionally, that you're perfectly capable of handling whatever you have going on emotionally inside of yourself. that this will lead you towards that happiness. This will lead you towards that love. It'll lead you also into a high vibrational state of happiness, joy, life, laughter, peace. And that is going to really affect your love life too. Because as you pour into yourself in that way, you will be able to pour onto others. And you will also be able to accept in others' love as well without feeling like the love they're pouring out isn't enough, without feeling like it's lacking in some way. Tall whites, uncertainty, distrust, guarded. Nephilim, controversial, assessing, new perspectives. So, as these things are exposed as well, and as some of these things are seen for what they are, you're going to be looking back and you're going to be realizing some of the situations that you've been guarded with or you've had uncertainty or distrust in. You had a reason for it. It wasn't just paranoia. It was real. Your intuition was talking to you. The mystic. Can't remember who sings it, but when there's a bunch of liars in the room, all your demons come to the surface. When there's a bunch of liars around you and a bunch of people not speaking the truth, a bunch of people being fake, being pretend, that's the time when the most PTSD is going to come to the surface for you. That's going to trigger your PTSD. It's going to trigger feelings of distrust, feelings of being unsure or not knowing what to do or how to feel. Anytime you are in a room full of liars, it will definitely trigger that. And that's going to be the first sign when it comes to situations like that, that that's what those situations are. Apparently DoorDash is busy right now. Good thing my life's not all about me. Nine of Scythes, Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Chalices. Some of you could be writers as well. Whatever it is that you're working on or writing, or it could be any kind of working on. It may be creating a lot of new perspectives, a lot of shifts in understanding. For some of you, there could be somebody that's getting ready to pour out their heart and soul to you in a letter or in some sort of poetry or a song or something. Sometimes when we get in that energy of uncertainty and distrust, when we're feeling very guarded, when we're feeling like we can't trust the people around us, things like that, we may feel like we are manifesting these situations into being. But like I was saying before, when you're in a room full of liars, that's going to trigger your PTSD. That's going to trigger that anxiety. It's going to trigger you to be fearful and worried. And it's triggering you for a reason. There's a reason for it. You're not manifesting somebody else's actions when they've already taken those actions. Some of you may be worried about stories that you've thought about writing as well, because you may feel like you're going to create that story into being. A lot of times that story has already been, for one thing. But also, how many stories have been written that have never happened? When you start getting into manifestation, it can really make you very fearful of a lot of different things. But it's really not time for you to focus on that right now. Right now, it is time for you to focus on maintaining your peace and maintaining your stability and your strength throughout whatever situations you may be facing or coming into contact with, especially when it comes to anything dealing with the law or with an ex of yours as well. We have Libra, we have Leo. You may actually find out about two people working together as well. Dust, D-O-A, dead on arrival. F S W D Sawdust, B DB Cooper, W U S Z. I want to rob a bank and throw the money in the street. Yeah, that song's a great song. Would I be crazy if I thought the world was fake, a simulation? A game that aliens play from outer space? The players pick their religion and that's what starts the competition. That's a good song. I like that song. Q, Queen. O, F, Y, Roy, Boy, B, R, Bro, Sword. Somebody's got their swords out. A lot of times when you drop your swords, that's when you get the biggest win. Somebody may have a lot of pride and a lot of ego. Somebody may have been living with a fair amount of distorted vision as well, and now their vision is clearing up, and they may actually be seeing the facts for what they are. Fad. Fading. For some reason, Dude, Where's My Car, where they're like, what's mine say? Dude, what's mine say? Sweet. And they're all pissed off because the other one's not telling them what it says, but that's actually what it says is coming to mind. Bow. So there may be something that you're not seeing that somebody has been trying to fill you in on. And you may be thinking that they're holding something back or they're not telling you what's going on, but they are, and you're just not understanding whatever it is that they're saying. Bowser. You may be getting a lot of messages from your ancestors. They may be really trying very hard to figure out exactly how to tell you what's been going on. And you may not be understanding a lot of those messages that are coming your way. And a lot of that could be because of the stress. You may not be getting a whole lot of sleep either. Brody. Bow, the prize bow. I am not just some prize to be won. Sometimes whether we want to be or not, that's what people see us as. Let's see what else we got. Look high, not low. Sights on the sky, set so high. Haters always wonder why. Set expectations are a lie, but look at me now, standing tall. I have climbed my brick wall. Are you ready to fight this fight, or is jealousy blocking your sight? You can change your life too, come out smelling so brand new. But all your time is wasted here, spent only on your nasty leer. Take a minute to look in the mirror. Tell me what it is that you truly fear. See the amazing things you could be if only you were willing to pay the fee. 2/2/22. So, some of you may be dealing with some jealousy of your own as well. Some of you may be spending a lot of your time upset about what another person has going on, or the relationship that another person has going on, whether that be romantic or like the relationship they have with your family or with your children or whatever the case may be. And instead of focusing on fixing or repairing those things or developing and deepening those things, you are focused on being really upset over this person and what they have. And it could be as well that some of you are dealing with some people that are very jealous of you as well. And some of you could actually be creating your worst fears right in front of you simply because of your jealousy or your fear or your hurt or your pain. It could be creating a new life all of its own. Whoever is there, what do you have to say to me? Fun, friendship, fears of lies, and third party. Someone was fighting for themselves, but it was a hollow victory. Having fun will ease your fears enough to listen to your intuition. Allow people in to help. You will feel better. Love yourself completely. Follow your intuition forward. You have the communication skills to leave this fight behind and to bring peace. Share what you have to say with others. No longer be defensive. Share your knowledge with your kids. Say you're sorry, that you didn't want them to go through what they had to go through. But if they want to learn, then you believe about what you believe, you can still teach them. It's their choice. Your abundance is coming. Your struggle will end. You can see the lies. Know this. You can also see the truth. People are coming to you. Donations on your channel, clients. Clarity is coming as well. Stop it. You are amazing. Others see this. Some are jealous, but others will want to learn, and they... Angel, stop. Others will want to learn. Angel. Others will want to learn and know that they need to. Your gifts will spread far and wide, and already have in some ways. Recognition is coming in and will speed up. Be ready for it, and then you will be on top. Be humble, kind, and caring in your leadership role. You have seen others take advantage of their positions. Remember not to follow that path. Instead, be kind and generous leader to show them how. Angel, stop it. Stop. So anyway, taking a minute to write down whatever it is that's coming up. Give it a place to come out. This will give you some clarity too. Write on a piece of paper, what do you have to say to me? What do you want me to know? What messages are you trying to bring me? And then whatever comes up after that, write it down and put it out there and see what they have to say to you. Because some of you may be having a really hard time communicating with your ancestors and receiving the messages that they want you to know about. Knock it off. Anyway, Angel's having a hard time being patient today. So some of you could be having a hard time being patient as well. Syrians, responsibilities, lessons growing up. At this time, you could be learning a lot more about certain things. Growing, evolving, shifting, changing. Your perspectives may be enhancing in some way as well. Syrians, B and A. Artistic, integrity, honesty. So, left-brained and right-brained. Combining those two sides together is one of those things that's going to help you very much as well. Being able to combine your creativity, your outside-the-box perspectives, and everything like that with that very logical, calculated approach is going to be something that's going to help you a lot too. So having that business-minded sense while still having that imaginative sense. Being honest with yourself and being honest with others is going to be very important at this time too. Sometimes we can kind of fall into this energy of a distorted view because we aren't being honest with ourselves about what it is that we want or where it is that we want to go. So really look at that and examine it. We have the Knight of Stakes, which is funny because this guy was extremely delusional when it came to a lot of things. He wanted to tell the story that he wanted to hear instead of telling his part in that story. He caused a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. He really hurt a lot of people in general. While he was working in the triad, and while he was being the little puppet of the evil mastermind guy, they confronted him about all of his delusions and shit like that when they were standing over the seal of Danzar or something like that. And they got him to admit the things that he had done wrong, and they got him to cry about it. And that's what ended up closing the seal, was his remorse, his guilt, his sadness, his pain over the destruction that he had caused. And that was when he finally grew up. And I feel like somebody is being forced into taking responsibility for their actions, taking accountability for their actions. Somebody may be being forced into feeling that remorse, that guilt, that pain, that sadness that they didn't want to face or didn't want to acknowledge. And you may get a front row ticket to seeing this. And once again, with the jealousy, somebody could definitely be jealous of somebody's youth, of somebody's life. The fact that somebody still has hopes and dreams or is able to work towards achieving those. And somebody may feel like somebody is wasting the time that they do have. There was one time in the park where there was this older guy in a wheelchair that was bitching at this younger guy that was with me about how he should have a job and he should be doing things so differently than what he's doing and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, you know what? You know nothing about his life. At this current time, he can't get a job because of some of the things that are going on in his life. And do you not realize and understand how much you're hurting his feelings right now? How much you're making him feel like shit right now? And I looked at the kid and I was like, the only reason he's even saying the things that he's saying right now is because he wishes that he was in your position and he still had the time left to be able to do things differently than he has in his life. And that guy was like, wow, you're right. Thank you for that, because you know what? I really wasn't even meaning to hurt him. And sometimes people do hurt people without even meaning to. Two of Scythes. So you've really stepped up into this energy of being confident, successful, stable. You have a lot of self-respect at this time. Commitment and loyalty to yourself and what's best for you. Things like that. But you may be facing indecision right at this moment about whether or not what's best for you is best for everyone on a whole. Or indecision about who to be or where you want to go or what direction you want to go. And that could be a lot of what your guides are trying to get in contact with you about as well. Behind the veil. Somebody may be, there is definitely, a lot of the collective is getting ready to lose someone that they love at this time. And as they do, secrets are going to be being exposed. Secrets about someone's jealousy or secrets about someone who was trying to take from you in some way energetically. Or even somebody who wanted to ride your coat. Like, can't remember exactly how that's said right this minute. But somebody who really wanted to take from you in some way. Wanted your success to be their success. This could be somebody that like pushed you really hard to go after a certain type of success in your life because they were trying to live vicariously through you. You definitely put in a lot of time, effort, work, energy towards freeing yourself from something. You're getting ready to be freed from something. You're getting ready to be freed from some form of black magic or spiritual warfare as well. For a lot of you. You're getting ready to free the people around you from that as well. This hard work that you've put in, this time, this energy, this effort, did not go to waste. And you are going to receive a lot of abundance because of it. And then you're going to have a lot of decisions to make about where you place that abundance and what you use it towards. And I feel like this specific person may actually even be passing away because they are not meant to be a part of that. But your guides know that you would make them a part of that. It's kind of like when Richard passed away last year. That's kind of what I felt like. They separated me from him because he was living off my energy in a way. And I knew as when we were separated, he was going to end up dying. He did. And actually, he was thinking he was getting better. He was getting ready to get out and all that kind of stuff. And then 2 days later, I messaged him and was like, so did you get out of there? And he had passed away. I was really surprised that he was getting out of there because I was pretty sure that he was going to die while he was gone or while he was in the hospital. And then he did, even though he thought that he was getting out. So, yeah, there could definitely be something in your life that's getting ready to happen that is similar to that. And this is meant to happen for a reason. And a big chunk of that is because this person has been living off of your energy or living vicariously through you in some way, or has been trying to be you in some way or take from you in some way. And even though at first it really seems like this is bringing you a lot of dis-ease, a lot of chaos and chaotic energy, it's actually a blessing in disguise that is going to bring you peace in your life. Peace and stability. And it's also going to bring you that independence and freedom that you have been trying to achieve, but you've been feeling like it's been held back from you, or you have been not able to reach that peace and that stability in your life and that independence and freedom. I glitter and am gold. Abundance is coming my way for everything that I do and say. Stop the worry and the fear. Time to switch the gear. I am abundance. I know it's true. Opinions of others who have no clue. Their thoughts don't matter to me. They are so blind they can't even see. Time to leave all others behind. Done with that bitter rind. 5/11/21. So you may be dating. You may be dealing with a lot of naysayers, people that are bitter, or people that are constantly making you question your achievements, making you question whether or not you can be successful, or making you question whether or not your independence is a smart move. You may be dealing with people that have really tried to hold you back in ways, that have tried to trigger self-esteem wounds or things like that. Just know that you have nothing to worry about. I feel like a lot of you have been very worried or unsure of whether or not you have chosen the right course, or whether or not you're going to be successful, or whether or not you're going to be able to take the steps you want to take. And know that you are going to be able to. Know it's true. Believe it's true, because it is coming in for you, and it doesn't even require that belief. It really doesn't. The fee. Faceless shadows all around. No real safe flat ground. Calling out till my voice is hoarse. Every single step a force. A force of will so strong. Traveling this road for so long. Never gonna give up this fight. No end to this war yet in sight. Traveling on this road so long. My homie's dead and gone. Dead and gone. No end to this war in sight. One day soon, I know I'll be free. Darkness takes a toll. We all pay a fee. The cost of the wisdom to set us free. So, the cost of the wisdom that sets us free, the cost of the wisdom that helps us to be able to rise above in the ranks, a lot of that cost is facing darkness, experiencing it, going through it, having to deal with a lot, getting caught up in a lot. Every single step a force, a force of will so strong. You've had to have a lot of willpower to remain on this path, to continue taking those steps going forward. You've really had to trust in and listen to that guidance. Your ancestors want to tell you how proud they are of you. They see how strong you've been, how much willpower you've had, how much discipline you've had. You are breaking cycles from the past through to future generations, long festering karma and karmic wounds. It is time to let go. Be true to you. Allow yourself to shine bright. Leave behind what you were taught in favor of the new things that you have learned. Talking points may help you in some way. Write a sentence and see what follows. It's time to really explore. Stop thinking curiosity is a bad thing. It sometimes leads to bad things, but it just as often leads to good ones too. Take calculated risks. Be discerning, not fearful. Let that fear give rise to faith and courage. Now is the time for commitment tests. Only the strongest will make it through. You can do this, believe it, and make it so. So, once again, if your curiosity has led you down some dark roads, and you have experienced some hurt or pain or whatever the case may be, that curiosity led you where you were meant to be. It led you into situations and into people, places, things that were meant to help you grow, learn, understand things on a different level. You were meant to be going through these things to gain that wisdom and that knowledge so that you could do what you were meant to do in this world. A few years back, I asked to be a better healer than I was. Guess what? When you're asking to be a better healer than you are, that means they're going to have you go through some more experiences so that you can learn from them, gain that wisdom, gain that knowledge, so that you can pass that on to others, so that you can work with a wider variety and range of people, which is why I had to go through the things that I went through the last couple years. Blessings in disguise. That's what we mean when we're talking about things like that. Finding the good sides of things as well. Kind of like last night when I was talking to, hi Southern Belle. Awesome, thank you so much. Looking forward to answering your question. Hope you're doing good as well. So last night I was talking to somebody about, I was like, you want to know one of the good parts about my mom throwing coffee cups at me across the house? And he's like, what? And I was like, I have really good fucking reflexes and I didn't just fall on my ass out front because I could have. And if it wasn't for going through that, I would have, because I've seriously like 4 times in a row stepped on my cat. My fucking cat was like juggling back and forth between my feet. This cat is really ridiculous when it comes to that. It's been a little while since he's done it. But God, when he was little, I swear he was underneath your fucking feet every time you fucking moved. Every time you moved, that little shit was underneath your feet. And he was doing that shit last night. So I stepped on him like 4 times in a fucking row and almost fell on my face. But I didn't, because my reflexes are extremely sharp after what I went through as a kid. Finding those good things in those experiences you had is going to be very important for you, especially as this collective. Because if you're in this collective, you have been through hell and back. You have walked through the flames and the fire, and it has not burned you. I walk through the fire and it freezes me. I look into it and it's black. Why can't I feel my skin should crack and peel? I want the fire back. You know what's really sad about that? In that episode of Buffy, they wanted to have her have a voiceover and lip sync for it. And she told him, no, my voice is plenty good enough. I'm going to sing my own parts. And honestly, she did a fucking amazing job. And I'm glad that they didn't use somebody else's voice for her singing in that. What's wrong with just being a normal person and singing? Nothing. So, oh, I did not actually read that. So, this is actually a poem I wrote when I was about 15 years old. Guys are all the same, or is it just me? Am I insane? Or can you see? Do you believe or do you just receive? Because a lot of girls just take the world and never learn all the facts. They stand up for all the acts. Mostly they just get dumped in the trash and incinerated into ash. Not even a call, so how can you stand tall? They say you're still friends, but is that how it ends? Some of you may have actually turned the tables on people and kind of switched that role around in some sort of way. And you might have actually been able to see now things from that other perspective as well along the way. So, Southern Belle, what do your ancestors want you to know at this time? Let it go. Release that fear and that doubt. Peace fills you inside and out. Let go of what you think is wrong. The answer was with you all along. Over the mountain or around. You've always been homebound. It's time to release all that fear before you waste yet another year. 10/22/21. So there may be some things that are holding you back in your life that have to do with what you feel is wrong and what you feel is right. And so you may be hesitating to take action on things that you want, or on things that you love, or things that you enjoy in your life, because you may be feeling like in some way, whatever it is that you enjoy is wrong and you shouldn't be doing it. You may have a very big thing with shame or guilt. Dragon, 1940, 52, 64, 76, 88, 2000, 2012, and 2024. Dragons are meant to be seen, meant to be heard. They are leaders. The movie Dragonheart just came to mind too. I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. So I'm kind of unsure why, but there may be something in there. Weed is a medicine. It was used by our ancestors for a closer connection and a thinner veil, until it was taken away and demonized in favor of pharmaceuticals that are far worse for us most of the time. Some medicine is helpful and needed at times, but if we started with natural solutions first and worked our way up, then we wouldn't be using them unnecessarily and burying the healing that needs to be done or denying our own power. I love that it's more of law and medicine focused, because that's exactly what just came out. So, it's funny, they have all these fucking laws. And here's the thing, a lot of them are put in place for their benefit. When you talk about the war on drugs, look at it for a minute. Just look at it for a minute. Every fucking drug they're locking people up for life for, the pharmaceutical company made. And they're still using half of them in the medicines that they're passing out to people. But only the rich people who have money enough to go to the doctors and get that medicine, they're allowed to have it. Or if you want to get technical, I mean, that's why in the song Ayo for Yayo, it's like rich man high, 8 balls and quarters. Cocaine is a rich man's drug. How many of those people you see locked up? None of them. And if you want to get technical, the pharmaceutical company and the government backing them, and then you got the cartel on the opposite side. Those are the people making money all the time from the war on drugs. They're making that money from the war on drugs and from the poor people in poverty that are caught in between that war on drugs, because they're generally the ones spending their lives in prison for it and having to pay them to be there. So it's, and a lot of those things open your mind. They open your mind, they shift your perspectives, they allow you to see things that you wouldn't see without them. Not to mention the fact that when it comes to addiction and shit like that, they have literally stolen your power. They have made you believe that drugs have all the power in the world and you have absolutely no power inside of yourself. And that if you even take one hit of anything, you're going to be hooked onto it for life. And there's no way you could ever escape its icy grip, which just is not true. But since people believe that, that's what happens. They also make you believe that it makes you into a bad person. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you into a bad person. You want to know what makes you into a bad person? Being one. And then using those drugs and using that alcohol to excuse your behavior. A few years back when my ex did what he did, and I was standing there trying to defend what had happened and trying to tell my dad he was scared. He acted out of fear. And my dad's like, it doesn't matter, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look at some of the things you've done, Dad. And he's like, yeah, but I was drunk. Yeah, but I don't give a flying fuck. Just because he wasn't drunk doesn't mean there isn't any kind of understanding for what happened. And being drunk doesn't just automatically change you as a person. Technically, it lowers your inhibitions. It causes you to do things you might do if you had the courage to do it. Not brand new things that come out of nowhere. You're still the same person. Awesome. Thank you, beautiful. The Magician, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Devil. So, you may feel like there is so many things that you need to apologize for. You may be feeling like you need to apologize just for being you. You may feel like there's some sort of temptation that you fell into, and you may be feeling very guilty about it. You may be feeling like you can be poisoned by certain things in particular. And I really feel like you are definitely not trapped in that energy. This is something that has to do with self-hate. And I learned a lot of that because there was a lot of judgment from me towards a certain group of people in the past. And from October to December, I learned what it was like to be a part of that group of people. And I also learned what it was like to not hate myself for it. When you hate yourself for it, that's generally when the worst outcomes happen. So it's time to love yourself. It's time to forgive yourself. And it is also time to go after what you want to do, to allow the things that inspire you, motivate you, drive you, and make you feel good to be a part of your life. And to not worry so much about whether or not you're going to get trapped in it. Because as long as you are loving yourself, and as long as you are not trying to use those things to bury or numb the things that you have going on, and as long as you're not feeling like you need those things, but those things are just something that you want and that you want to experience occasionally, then those things are not going to be able to take control over you. You have all the skills, all the tools, and everything that you need within you to be able to manifest the life that you're wanting, and also possibly to be able to manifest in this apology as well. There may be an apology that you're waiting for from somebody in particular too. Ha! The Queen of Wands again. And the Star. So keep your hope alive. And know that you are a true warrior. There may be something, and if not, then not. Uh-oh, my comments are doing that stupid. So, trying to get my comments back. Sorry, sweetheart. Well, anyway, after I answer this question, I'm going to start up a new one, and you can throw your question in that one because it's being fucking retarded. I really need to get a new phone. Really need to get a new phone. Anyway, you're being asked to keep your hope alive at this time. Don't fear the Reaper is coming to mind too. Keep your hope alive, your wishes alive, your dreams alive, because that's what's going to manifest those things into being, is believing that they can be a reality. So, I'm going to start a second reading for that, and find me over there. That way we can answer your second question as well. I hate when this happens.